Trusting the invisible, how faith transforms uncertainty into opportunity. Welcome to an extraordinary journey of faith, resilience, and personal transformation. Today, we're diving deep into the profound wisdom shared by the remarkable Dr. Omekia McNeal, a beacon of hope and a true catalyst for positive change in our world. Her insights on trusting God amidst life's uncertainties aren't just inspiring, they're revolutionary, offering a fresh perspective that has the power to reshape our entire approach to life's challenges. Dr. McNeal's work has touched countless lives, guiding individuals through their darkest moments and helping them emerge stronger, more faithful, and more resilient than ever before. Her unique blend of spiritual wisdom and practical psychology has made her a sought-after expert in the field of personal growth and faith-based transformation. Today, we're privileged to explore the life-altering insights she shared, insights that have the potential to radically shift how we view our struggles, our successes, and everything in between. Now let's dive in. Have you ever found yourself staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., your mind racing with unanswered questions? Why didn't I get that promotion? Why did that relationship fall apart? Why does it feel like my prayers are hitting a cosmic voicemail? If you're nodding along, congratulations, you're human. These questions have been the late night companions of countless individuals throughout history. But what if I told you that these very questions, these moments of doubt and uncertainty, could be the gateway to the most profound growth you've ever experienced? Dr. McNeal's wisdom sheds light on a truth that's both simple and revolutionary. God is always present, even when it feels like he's gone silent. But here's the kicker. Embrace yourself, because this might just flip your world upside down. Just because what you're asking for doesn't materialize immediately doesn't mean it's not in the works. It's like ordering a custom-made suit. You don't see the tailor working behind the scenes, but rest assured, every stitch is being carefully placed. Now, I can almost hear the skeptics among you. Easy for you to say, you don't know what I'm going through. And you're absolutely right. I don't. But here's what I do know. Every single one of us, regardless of our background, our successes, or our failures, has faced moments where we felt lost, alone, and utterly uncertain about what comes next. It's part of the human experience, as unavoidable as bad hair days and awkward family reunions. So how do we navigate these choppy waters of uncertainty? Dr. McNeal's approach is both elegantly simple and profoundly challenging. Trusting God. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, great, another just have faith pep talk, hear me out. This isn't about blind faith or passively waiting for miracles to fall from the sky. It's about active trust, a dynamic, living faith that fundamentally alters how we perceive and interact with the world around us. Let me share a story that Dr. McNeal told me, one that really brings this concept to life. She once worked with a client, let's call her Sarah, who was battling severe anxiety. Sarah had tried everything: therapy, medication, meditation, even a brief stint with crystal healing. Hey, desperate times call for desperate measures, right? Nothing seemed to work. She came to Dr. McNeal feeling utterly hopeless, convinced that God had not just abandoned her, but had probably blocked her number. Now, most professionals would have immediately jumped into problem-solving mode, pulling out the DSM-5 and a prescription pad. But not Dr. McNeal. Instead, she asked Sarah a question that would change everything. What if your anxiety isn't a problem to be solved, but a path to be explored? Sarah's initial reaction was, well, let's just say it involved a raised eyebrow and a look that clearly said, have you lost your mind? How could something that caused her so much pain, that kept her up at night and made simple tasks feel like climbing Mount Everest, possibly be a path to anything good? But as they dug deeper, something remarkable began to unfold. Sarah started to view her anxiety not as a curse, but as a call to deepen her faith, to lean into trust rather than fear. Each anxious thought became an opportunity to turn to God, to practice surrendering her worries to a higher power. And slowly but surely, a shift occurred. Sarah's anxiety didn't magically disappear. This isn't a fairy tale after all, but her relationship with it changed dramatically. She found strength she never knew she had, all because she chose to trust in something bigger than her fears. This story illustrates a crucial point. Trusting in God doesn't mean our problems vanish into thin air. It's not a magic wand that turns pumpkins into carriages or anxiety into instant peace. Instead, it's a paradigm shift that transforms how we approach our challenges. We begin to see obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities for growth and deeper connection with our faith. Now, let's be honest for a moment. This isn't easy. In fact, it can be downright terrifying. It requires us to let go of our need for control, to surrender our carefully crafted 5-year plans to a higher power. And for many of us, that's scarier than any horror movie marathon. Dr. McNeal shared another insight that hit me like a ton of bricks, or perhaps more accurately, like a gentle but persistent tap on the shoulder. She said, faith isn't the absence of doubt, it's the presence of trust in spite of doubt. Mind blown. Think about it. How often do we beat ourselves up for having doubts? How many times have we felt like spiritual failures because our faith wavered in difficult times? But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? What if doubt isn't the enemy of faith, but a necessary part of it? It's like working out. If you never push yourself, never feel that burn in your muscles, never break a sweat, are you really getting stronger? The same principle applies to our faith. It's in those moments of doubt, when we choose to trust anyway, that our faith grows the most. This brings us to another crucial point that Dr. McNeal emphasized: the importance of patience. In our instant gratification culture, where we expect Amazon deliveries faster than pizza and our Netflix shows to start before we've even decided what to watch, we've lost the art of waiting. We want everything now: success, love, healing, answers to our prayers. But what if the waiting itself is part of the answer? Dr. McNeal shared a beautiful analogy that really stuck with me. She compared our journey of faith to planting a garden. When you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. That would be absurd, right? You'd end up with a handful of dirt and a very confused seed. Instead, you trust in the process. You water it, make sure it gets sunlight, and then you wait. And it's in that waiting that the magic happens. The same is true in our spiritual lives. Sometimes the very thing we're praying for is taking root beneath the surface, growing stronger day by day, even when we can't see it. Our job isn't to force the growth or to doubt the process. Our job is to keep nurturing our faith, to keep trusting even when we don't see immediate results. This patience, this willingness to trust in God's timing is a game changer. It frees us from the exhausting cycle of anxiety and control. It allows us to find peace in the present moment, knowing that our future is in capable hands. It's like being on a roller coaster. You can either white knuckle the safety bar, eyes squeezed shut, or you can throw your hands up and enjoy the ride. But here's the thing: this kind of trust doesn't just happen. It's not like waking up one day and suddenly having unwavering faith. It's a choice we have to make every single day, sometimes every single moment. It's a muscle we need to exercise regularly. So, how do we do that? Dr. McNeal offered some practical advice that I found incredibly helpful. First, she suggested starting each day with a simple prayer of surrender. Something like, yeah, God, I trust you with my life today, guide my steps. It doesn't have to be eloquent or long-winded. It's not about impressing God with our vocabulary. It's about setting the tone for the day, reminding ourselves to lean into faith rather than fear. Second, she emphasized the importance of gratitude. When we focus on what we're grateful for, it shifts our perspective. Instead of fixating on what's wrong or what's missing, we start to see the abundance in our lives. This doesn't mean ignoring our problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to see the good alongside the challenges. It's like adjusting the lens through which we view our lives. Third, Dr. McNeal stressed the power of community. Trusting in God doesn't mean we have to go it alone. In fact, one of the ways God often works in our lives is through other people. Surrounding ourselves with a supportive community of faith can provide encouragement, accountability, and perspective when we need it most. It's like having a team of cheerleaders rooting for you, even when you feel like you're losing the game. But perhaps the most powerful piece of advice Dr. McNeal shared was this: act as if. When you're struggling to trust, when your faith feels shakier than a Jenga tower in an earthquake, act as if you have unwavering faith. Make decisions based on trust rather than fear. Speak words of faith even when you're not feeling it. Because here's the amazing thing: often our actions can lead our emotions. By acting in faith, we begin to feel more faithful. Now, I want to be clear. This isn't about faking it or denying our true feelings. It's not about plastering on a smile and pretending everything's fine when it's not. It's about choosing to align our actions with our deepest beliefs, even when our emotions aren't quite there yet. It's about being authentic in our struggles while still holding on to hope. Let me share another story that illustrates this principle beautifully. Dr. McNeal worked with a man, let's call him Mike, who had lost his job unexpectedly. Mike was devastated. He had a family to support, bills to pay, and suddenly his sense of identity and purpose was pulled out from under him like a cosmic rug pull. In their sessions, Dr. McNeal encouraged Mike to act as if he trusted God's plan for his life. This didn't mean sitting at home waiting for a job to magically appear. Instead, it meant approaching his job search with confidence and hope, trusting that the right opportunity would come at the right time. Mike started volunteering at a local community center while he job hunted. He saw it as a way to give back and stay active. Little did he know this act of faith would lead to an unexpected opportunity. Through his volunteer work, Mike met someone who offered him a job that not only paid the bills, but aligned perfectly with his passions and skills. The point isn't that trusting God always leads to a perfect job or an easy life. The point is that when we choose to act in faith, even when we're scared or uncertain, we open ourselves up to possibilities we might never have imagined. As we wrap up, I want to circle back to where we started. Remember those unanswered prayers, those disappointments and setbacks that made you question everything? What if we looked at them through this new lens of trust? What if instead of seeing them as evidence that God isn't listening, we saw them as invitations to deepen our faith? What if every closed door is actually directing us towards the path we're meant to take? What if every delay is actually perfect timing in disguise? This shift in perspective doesn't make the challenges disappear. It doesn't turn life into a constant stream of rainbows and unicorns, but it does change how we face those challenges. It gives us strength we didn't know we had. It allows us to find peace in the midst of chaos. And most importantly, it opens us up to possibilities we might never have imagined. Dr. McNeal's insights remind us that trusting in God isn't a one-time decision. It's not a checkbox we tick off and then move on. It's a journey, a daily choice to believe that there's more to our story than what we can see right now. It's about holding on to hope, even when the evidence suggests otherwise. So, I want to leave you with a challenge. For the next week, try living as if you completely trusted God's plan for your life. When worry creeps in, consciously choose trust instead. When you face a setback, look for the opportunity hidden within it. When you're tempted to control every detail, practice letting go. And as you do this, pay attention to how it affects your life. Notice how it changes your interactions, your decisions, your peace of mind. You might be surprised at what you discover. Remember, the goal isn't perfection. We're not aiming for sainthood here. It's about progress. It's about growing in our faith one step at a time. It's about transforming our relationship with uncertainty from one of fear to one of anticipation. Because who knows? The very thing you've been waiting for, praying for, hoping for, might be just around the corner. And even if it's not, something even better might be on its way. Trust in God doesn't guarantee an easy life. Let's be real. If anyone promises you a problem-free existence, they're probably trying to sell you something. But it does promise a meaningful one. A life where every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Every setback, a setup for a comeback, and every moment a chance to experience the depth of God's love and provision. As we conclude this talk, I want to express my deepest gratitude to Dr. Omekia McNeal for sharing her wisdom and insights. Her words have the power to transform not just individual lives, but entire communities. She reminds us that when we choose to trust in God, we're not just changing our own stories, we're contributing to a larger narrative of hope, resilience, and faith. Now, it's your turn. I challenge you to take what you've heard today and put it into action. Start small if you need to. Maybe it's taking a deep breath and choosing trust over worry when you're stuck in traffic. Maybe it's looking for the silver lining in a disappointing situation. Or maybe it's taking that leap of faith you've been putting off, trusting that even if you fall, you'll land exactly where you're meant to be. Remember, your faith has the power to move mountains, even if those mountains are the doubts in your own mind. Keep trusting, keep growing, and keep believing. The best is yet to come, not because life will always be easy, but because you'll have the strength and faith to handle whatever comes your way. So go forth, embrace uncertainty, and trust in the unseen. Your journey of faith starts now, and I can't wait to see where it takes you. Thank you.